So a question I get asked a lot is, what is a good idea for a proper meal for fat loss? And I often get asked, what do you eat? So here is an example of what I'm going to make for dinner tomorrow night. I went to the store, picked up a few things, and I thought that I would share it with you, that hopefully you'll find maybe one or a few things useful and new for your repertoire. So I went to Whole Foods. Whole Foods actually had a sale on tilapia, which is my favorite type of fish. I'm not a big fish eater, so it's very mild. And I was able to get enough 4 fillets, so for my entire family, for $9. So I thought that was a great deal. And Whole Foods, as you know, has very strict guidelines in terms of their where they're getting their produce from and where they're getting their fish and their meat from. They have really high grades, and they're very watchful in terms of farm raised, where they're getting it from, and the farming practices that they're using. And so this is tilapia, and what I'm going to do with the tilapia is I'm going to crack the egg, and I'm going to dip the tilapia in the egg, and then I'm going to put it in almond meal. So if you don't have almond meal, I particularly do have almond meal, but this is just ground almonds that I use. But if you don't, just grab some almonds and stick them in the processor or the chopper, chop them up. So you're dipping it in the egg, and then you're dipping it in the almond meal, and then you're going to put it on a baking sheet, stick it in the oven. I use 325, 350. It's usually about 15 minutes or so that they're in the oven. While they're in the oven, you can work on your vegetables. So what I like to do is, it's the fall, and so seasonably we can choose sweet potatoes. So I chose these sweet potatoes. I'm going to peel them, and I'm going to cube them in little squares. I'm going to stick them on a baking sheet. I'm going to pour some olive oil. This is from Lisa, one of our trainers brought this back. Amazing olive oil from Italy. And so I'm going to drizzle olive oil on top of my diced sweet potatoes. And then thyme, particularly, is my favorite herb. So grab whatever your favorite herb is. If you don't have it fresh, go for dry, and just sprinkle it on, a little bit of salt and pepper, and you're going to stick it in the oven with your fish. It'll take the same amount of time. And then you're going to, broccoli is delish, great for fat loss, and a great green. And so I like to lightly steam it. So while that's all in the oven happening, I'm going to lightly steam my broccoli, really light, and then I'm going to squeeze some lemon over it to give it a little bit of a punch, a little bit of a kick. And that's it. That's my dinner. So 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max to prep everything, and you have a healthy meal for fat loss that's tasty, and hopefully your kids will love it. I know that my kids do. So hopefully you got a little bit from this. I also grabbed a pepper because I like to have some raw vegetables at each meal, and so I'll probably cut this up and just stick it in the middle of the table for my kids to munch on. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today in my kitchen, and we'll see you next time.